Hello guys and welcome back to Weekly Championship Predictions. We are back for the next 46 weeks predicting to see who has the better Championship ball knowledge between a brother and a sister. And last season the brother came out on top in this family dispute. Sophie, how are you feeling coming into the new Championship season?
Yeah, do you know what? It's a new season, it's a fresh start. I'm ready to go again and I'm ready to win this season.
Ooh, that's
fighting talk.
Fighting talk, I like it. Guys, it's great to be back. Thank you so much for your brilliant support, by the way. We just hit 105,000 subscribers. If you haven't already got involved, then do get involved. I mean, we're absolutely flying, Sophie. Thank you so much again for signing up for another season. We managed to put pen to paper and get you to sign another contract. Be sure to support us by dropping a like as well. What are we saying?
3,300?
Yeah, that's
nice
doable.
Random number.
That is doable. And of course, play along. Get your predictions down in the comments. I will list the fixtures in the description, so copy and paste. And just to remind everyone of the scoring system, it's 1 point if you get the correct outcome. So if you backed Birmingham to win and they won, it's 3 points if you get the correct scoreline. So if you said they'd win by 2-1 and they win 2-1, and you can get a bonus point. You can get 4 points if you correctly get the right scoreline in a game with 5 or more goals. Also, I will be implementing the rules I do with Benjamin Bloom to myself and Sophie now. We are going to be taking it in turns to do predictions, and there is no copying allowed. Sophie, let's get into it. We start with an absolute cracker. Birmingham City versus Ipswich Town. Wow, this is incredible. So you've got Ipswich, of course, who came up from League One to go straight on to the Premier League. Yeah. Birmingham, are they the next Ipswich? Because the money they are throwing at it this season, the ambition they are showing, makes for a really good matchup here. I think Ipswich are most people's favourites to win the Championship this season, coming down from the Premier League with a lot more money and a strong squad and Kieran McKenna. But at St Andrews, I think Birmingham could cause them serious problems. I'll let you go first. What are you thinking?
I think this is a really, really tough matchup for both teams, to be honest. And I think it's a great opening game. I think there's going to be so many eyes on this one. Maybe it's a bit boring, but I'm going down the middle on this one. I'm struggling to separate the two. I think a few people might lean towards Birmingham with it being at St Andrews, but I'm not that person. I've got Ipswich to finish top. And I feel like we're going to see some of their strengths here, but equally we're going to see some of Blues as well. So 1-1.
1-1. And I tell you what, if either team does win this, that would be a massive statement.
Yeah.
I am going for a statement for the Midlands team, Sophie. 2-1 to Birmingham City. Wow. I think what is tipping me here is the home advantage.
Yeah.
I just think if it was at Portman Road, I might lean towards Ipswich. Yeah. But at St Andrews, I think the fans will be able to get on top of the Ipswich players, and it's going to be difficult. I really don't think there'll be much in this. And if Birmingham win, that really sets them on their way for a good season where maybe they could actually compete with Ipswich, which is incredible to say. So we've got 2-1 Birmingham and a 1-1 draw. Do share your thoughts down below. Next up, Sophie, we go to the Valley. Charlton are also back in the Championship. They take on Watford. It's great to see Charlton come up. They were fantastic in League One. Nathan Jones, of course, solid manager. And to be fair to them, they have attacked the transfer window. They've brought in some good players. They have the home advantage as well. Watford are more of this unknown with Paolo Pezzolano. Yeah. But it's not to say it couldn't work, because sometimes they'll bring in a manager, Tom Cleverley, for example, and he proved to be pretty good. Once again, I think it's a shame he wasn't given another opportunity. But I'm leaning towards Charlton, but the unpredictability of Watford makes me think this might land in the middle. 1-1.
Right, seeing as we can't copy each other, I was feeling a 1-1. I might go 0-0. I feel like maybe it's a little bit boring, but equally, for a team just coming up into the Championship, home game, they're obviously going to want to get something from it. They're just going to cancel each other out. I'm not saying it's going to be a boring game, because sometimes you'll go, oh, 0-0, that's boring. I think it can be an exciting 0-0.
Yeah, it could be. Who do you think a draw's a better result for?
Probably Charlton, to be fair.
Do you think? I think Watford fans will be going there thinking this is going to be difficult. You know, Charlton have the home advantage, momentum and everything.
Yeah, possibly, but equally, when teams come up, you almost underestimate them. So I feel like, to a degree, Watford might, and then that'll lead to them only getting a point there.
Well, we'll see. There you go. We're both going for a draw. Nathan Jones, it's usually tight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next up, Sophie, we go to the CBS. I'm so happy to be going back to the CBS on Saturday, Sophie. 12:30. Look out for the match vlog coming later that day. Sophie, I'm expecting a good crowd and I'm hoping for a good performance. Coventry versus Hull. Hull, we have actually both got in our bottom 3. I will say, though, that I'm not massively confident about them going down. It's not like with Sheffield Wednesday where it feels more of a certainty.
Yeah.
I do think Hull have got good players. They have lost a couple of key defenders like Alfie Jones and McLaughlin, but Ajayi comes in, and there is the uncertainty of Djakirovic. He could be really good, but the transfer embargo did make me have some reservations.
Yeah, definitely.
As for Coventry, look, we have a track record of always starting slow, but we do tend to win our first home game of the season.
Yeah.
And we were always very good at home under Frank Lampard last season. So I am edging towards Coventry, but you are up first. What are you saying?
Do you know what? I think it might be a little bit more of a comfortable game. I'm not underestimating Hull by any means, but I feel like Coventry at home are pretty strong. And I feel like we're going to get most of our results at home again this season. So I think there's going to be plenty of chances not taken. Love a clean sheet, and I'm going to back it 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go 2-1. Okay. I quite like the signing of Rushworth. He did make a mistake in pre-season.
He did.
But I think the thing is, Hull still have 1 or 2 players that could hurt you. But I do trust in our ability to create chances. I just hope we can at least take 2 of them. I want to see Ellis Sims getting off to a scoring start. I will edge Coventry, but I don't think it's straightforward. It's the Championship.
Yeah, exactly.
Share your thoughts, and if you see us at the CBS on Saturday, come say hello. It's good to be back. Next up, Sophie, we go to St Mary's, Southampton versus Wrexham. Who would have thought 2-3 years ago these would be in the same league? Wrexham have been incredible, Sophie. This journey, promotion. This time round, though, it is very difficult to see them getting promoted. I tell you what, if they beat Southampton, then my mind might start to change.
Could you imagine? Yeah.
Look, they've left their business late, by the way, Wrexham, but they are bringing in experience, which makes me think they'll be maybe a little bit better than I initially thought. As for Southampton, though, Sophie, I have actually tipped them to win the league. You've got them second. I just think there's plenty of good firepower there, and I am excited about Will still. I think if you're a Wrexham fan, you've got to be realistic that this is probably one of the hardest games you could have got.
Yeah.
But I think they will get going eventually. On this occasion, though, Southampton are just too strong.
Yeah.
3-1.
Oh, okay, I'm going for the same deficit. I'm going to say 2-0 to Southampton. I feel like you can't really judge Wrexham too much on this game because if you look at Southampton, their squad's pretty strong. Their manager, he's unproven in this league, but he did very, very well elsewhere. So I do expect big things from him. Obviously expect Southampton to do well this season as well. So, yeah, it's a very, very tricky game for Wrexham, and I think they're going to struggle in this one. 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, look, as long as they don't disgrace themselves, I think they will be competitive, but it's just Southampton are too good.
Yeah.
And, I wouldn't be surprised if all 3 relegated teams are in the top 6, top 5, top 4 this season. Right, next up, Sophie, we move on to Middlesbrough versus Swansea. It feels like 2 potential dark horses for the playoffs. Middlesbrough's transfer business has led to their fans being a bit frustrated. Obviously, Rob Edwards came in, which initially I was like, oh, okay, and then he brings in Adi Vivash, but I don't see a lot of transfer activity to make me get out of my seat just yet. I know they've tried to hijack that Chuba Akpom deal to Birmingham.
Yeah, it's not looking likely though, is it?
No, but of course for Swansea, Sophie, they've spent a bit of money, and then remember their form towards the end of last season was pretty good under Sheehan.
Yeah.
But Middlesbrough have the home advantage, and home advantage can be really crucial on the opening day. What are you saying?
Do you know what? I'm really torn with this one. I know quite a few Middlesbrough fans are rightly quite frustrated with some of their summer business, to be honest. I thought they had some money in the bank to spend, but they don't really seem to be splashing the cash. It looked like Hayden Hackney was off, and now it looks like he's staying, so I'm not too sure what's going on with that, but he is a very good player. But ultimately, if they needed the money, I think they were talking about 20 mil. You think, could you really turn that down? You can invest that in a few different places. But right now, he's staying, so this is really tricky. Do you know what? I might go for a bit of an upset and go Swansea 1-0.
Oh!
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Okay.
No, I don't. I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay.
I'm a little bit unsure about Middlesbrough. I think the first game's actually really important here for Rob Edwards, because if he wins, all of a sudden it's like, right, he's bringing everyone together.
Especially if they win by a lot. If they scrap like a 1-0, I don't think there's going to be so much of a buzz though.
But 3 points is 3 points.
3 points is 3 points, but a 3-0 is 3-0.
Yeah. Okay.
It's confidence.
Well, you're going 1-0 Swansea. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm going 1-1. I do think Swansea are solid, so I think Middlesbrough might take them a couple games to get going.
Yeah.
Next up, Sophie, we move on to Norwich City versus Millwall. Looking forward to this. This is two teams that could definitely compete for the playoffs.
Definitely.
Norwich's business has been good, and Josh Sargent is still there.
He's still there, yeah.
And you put together the fact they've spent quite a bit of money, and like I've said before, Harry Darling's one of my favourite signings so far this season. Millwall is solid. Of course, they've got Ivanovic, Coburn come in.
Scored a great goal in pre-season as well.
Oh, I just think home advantage is tipping it. Norwich 2, Millwall 1.
I really wanted to say that scoreline. This is tricky because I do see both teams scoring. Go on, 3-2. I'm going to say there's quite a few goals in this one. I like the look of both teams, and I feel like it's going to be quite an attacking game, to be honest, and that's why I see there being a few goals. So 3-2 Norwich.
There you go, and she's going for a bonus point.
Yeah.
You might get the first one of the season.
Fingers crossed.
There you go. Share your thoughts down below. Next up, Sophie, we go to Oxford United versus Portsmouth. These two have been on a similar journey. Came up from League One, both stayed up last season. It feels like I've seen quite a few people predicting Oxford to go down this season.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I think there is the fact that maybe, yes, their underlying numbers from last season suggested they were a bottom three team and they sort of overperformed in some ways, but I think it's a little bit unfair to just focus on that. I think there is a good camaraderie at Oxford, and Gary Rowett, who will give them another he'll give them another good chance of staying up. I do think the first game is quite important though. And remember, last season they got off to a good start and then they had a bad run, but it was the good start that kept them above water, and they could do with that buffer. But I think Portsmouth are going to be good this season. I've actually predicted them to finish in the top half. I like John Mousinho. I think John Swift's a good signing. I'm going to go down the middle. I don't know. You're up first though.
This is actually quite tricky because I do fancy Portsmouth more at home. But for some reason, I'm leaning towards them in this game as well.
Okay.
I'm going to say 2-1 Pompey, and I feel like it's going to be a late goal.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll go I know I don't get any bonus points for it, but I'll go 80 plus minutes to get the winner. So 2-1 Pompey.
There you go. All right, I like that. Okay, well that works quite well because I've not gone for that. I've gone 1-1.
Okay.
Maybe, it'll be 1-1 with 10 minutes to go. I'll be watching it thinking, please stay 1-1.
And then you'll message me going, oh, for goodness
and you'll be cheering for Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Look, I think there's not a lot between them when Oxford are at home. I do think if this game's at Fratton Park, I think I would tip Portsmouth. But there you go. Both get off to a drawing start. Next up, Sophie, we go down to West London as Queen's Park Rangers take on Preston. Preston are a team some people are tipping to go down. Of course, they nearly went down last season.
Yeah.
I think you've got them in your bottom three.
Yeah, I don't fancy them at all.
Can they get anything at QPR? I've got to be honest, I think QPR could be good this season, but it might take them a couple of weeks to bed in new players.
Yeah, but they did sign some of their players early doors, so they have had a few weeks to hopefully gel already to literally hit the ground running.
Some of their pre-season results have been a bit confusing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, I don't know, it's hard to judge a team on pre-season, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. I'm going to edge QPR. I'll go for late drama in this one. Maybe QPR score right at the end, 2-1.
1-0 QPR. I do fancy them to do it. I'm not going to read too much into their pre-season because it's almost like training, isn't it? Yeah, I do fancy QPR slightly. Obviously, if I'm backing Preston to have a poor season, I can't just back them to win their first away game of the season, which you never know. They might go off to a really, really strong start again and then just drop off a cliff. But no, I don't fancy that. I fancy QPR to get off to a winning start, 1-0.
Yeah, both go for QPR. Do share your thoughts down below. Next up, Sophie, we go to Stoke City versus Derby County, which was a game on the final day of last season. Of course, they both got a draw. They both stayed up. Can they kick on this season? Well, if you look at the managers, Mark Robins notorious for a slow start, John Eustace notorious for a fast start, but Stoke have the home advantage, and I will keep beating that drum that home advantage on the opening day is so important. And of course, in League One last week, 10 of the 12 games were won by the home team. But I'm not sure if I'm going to go for the home win, but I'm not going for the away win. I think this is a draw.
Okay.
I don't think there's much in this, and if there is a winner, it's literally going to be one goal in it. I can't see one team beating the other.
No, I agree with that.
But you're up first. What are you saying?
No, I'm glad I'm going first because I think we're going different anyway, but 2-1 Stoke for me.
You're back in Stoke?
Yeah, I'm actually back in Stoke.
Mark Robins doesn't win his first game.
Nah, this is Mark Robins at Stoke now. That's Mark Robins at Coventry.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I know I've said don't read too much into pre-season, but I've actually liked the look of how Stoke are playing, to be honest. I think some of their transfer business has been alright, to be fair. They've definitely strengthened. And I do fancy Derby to probably outperform Stoke this season. However, not in this game. I'm back in Stoke. 2-1.
Okay, I'm going 1-1, by the way. I do fear, if your prediction comes true, that Derby are going to retaliate next week against Coventry.
Now they'll win anyway.
Oh, God. Right, anyway, there you go. We've got the 2-1 Stoke and the 1-1 draw. It might come as a little bit of a surprise, but who knows? Stoke City, are they finally going to finish above the bottom half? Next up, Sophie, we go to the Hawthorns, West Brom versus Blackburn. I'm up first on this one. Blackburn, to be honest, they always start well.
They do, which is strange.
And I always underestimate them. Do you know what? If that works for the Blackburn fans, that works. I'm not going to back them here, and they'll probably prove me wrong. I just think West Brom could be solid under Ryan Mason, and as I've said before, Nat Phillips is one of my favourite signings.
I think defensively they're going to be pretty solid, aren't they?
That's why I'm going to go for a 1-0 West Brom win. I don't think there's much in this. I think one goal might win it. I am conscious of the fact that Blackburn always start well and they might surprise me, but I think if West Brom want to get into the top 6 this season, they've got to start well.
Is it at the Hawthorns?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I feel like if they were away, I'd probably go for like a 0-0. I might go for a 2-0 win at home. As I've said, I feel like they'll be pretty solid defensively, but also I do think they're going to take their chances in this game as well. We don't really know how Ryan Mason's going to have them setting up in the league, so it is a bit of a tricky one to predict at the moment. I do fancy them.
Okay, there you go, both back in West Brom. Next up, Sophie, we have the Championship playoff semi-final from last season, Sheffield United versus Bristol City. Of course, it was 6-0 over the 2 legs, and a lot has changed. Both managers have changed. Gerhard Struber is an interesting appointment. Not sure if it's going to work or not, time will tell. And the same's got to be said for Ruben Sellers, I guess. They've both taken a bit of a gamble. Well, I suppose Bristol City didn't, because they had no choice over Manning leaving.
True.
If Sheffield United take time to get going, then maybe Bristol City could get something, but I still think Sheffield United have kept the core of that team. What are you saying?
No, I think Sheffield United in pre-season they've looked really good, haven't they? They're just goal scoring, and I think even some of their fans are going, okay, it's a little bit different to wilder football, but I like the look of it so far. Will be interesting to see if they can carry that into the actual league. I like the look of Sheffield United. I'm not just saying this because they absolutely panned Bristol City last season in the playoff semi-finals. You shouldn't be getting panned that much, but I think it's going to be 3-0.
3-0?
3-0 Sheffield United.
Three times in a row?
Yeah, genuinely. I can see it happening. I'm not looking at last season. I'm looking at the squad they've got now, looking at the 2 managers, and I just fancy them. Bristol
City must be sick and tired of playing Sheffield United at this point.
Yeah, I don't blame them either.
I'm going to say 2-0. I had already written down 2-0. Not a lot between our predictions, but I do think Bristol City might put up a little bit more of a fight this time. But still, yeah, Sheffield United too strong, too powerful, in my opinion, and yeah, could see them being right up there if they get off to a good start. They want to avoid the playoffs and actually get top 2 this season. And then the final game, Sophie, is the biggest mismatch you could get: Leicester City versus Sheffield Wednesday. A team coming down from the Premier League with lots of quality. They just won 2-0 against Fiorentina at the weekend. Sheffield Wednesday in absolute disarray. Standards closed. Players not being paid. Transfer embargo. Players not being able to be brought in. There could even be a points deduction for them at this season. Speaking of which, we haven't heard anything about Leicester City at the moment. But I think these two, in terms of the squads, are worlds apart.
Well, I think it's just Barry Bannon and kids.
I know. And do you know what? Fair play to him.
Fair play to him. Yeah.
And honestly, by the way, I wish Sheffield Wednesday the best.
Yeah.
And if they're planning a protest, I really hope it gets some good coverage, because they're a proper club and I want this sorted. But we are here to predict football, and I think Leicester City's squad is too powerful for a Sheffield Wednesday mismatched team. 4-0.
Yeah, I was going to say 4-0. I'll minus a goal then. I'll say 3-0, just because I feel like Leicester might be a little bit wasteful. But it is so sad to see what's going on at Sheffield Wednesday. Just the club is an absolute mess. I feel for the fans, and this is such a tricky game to kick off the season with 3-0.
Yeah. And there you have it, guys. That wraps up the first week of Championship predictions for the new season. As I say, myself and Sophie are back every week now predicting the Championship and the Premier League. And remember, of course, with League One, Benjamin Bloom will be back tomorrow. So much going on, so make sure to get involved. Drop a like and subscribe. It's great to have you back, Sophie. You've got your Premier League table predictions coming out on Wednesday, by the way. How are you feeling about that?
Meh. Let's say meh. I'm not overly confident.
Fair enough. I like your honesty. Right, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for getting involved. Take care, everyone. Lots of love to all of you. Peace out.